Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing some of the best and worst designer purchases I have ever made. Unfortunately, I do have some regrets. Not many, but I think by sharing both the good and the bad, it gives us helpful insight into the things we should be considering before we make a luxury splurge. Starting with one of my best, maybe even top 3 best designer purchases of all time. Love it or hate it, this is the Louis Vuitton on-the-go tote bag. I believe this is the GM size, and this particular design was from a limited edition summer collection. It was also my very first Louis Vuitton purchase. I believe I picked this up during COVID because I want to say I had to call to place the order. This has become my go-to travel tote, and ever since I got this bag, I think I've taken it on every single trip that I've been on. And you would probably never know. I mean, it does not show anywhere. Maybe some of the stitching on the sides, not really even stitching on the bottom, shows a little bit of wear. Other than that, there are no signs of wear on this bag, and I don't baby it. I take it on planes, trains, automobiles, road trips, international. This bag has been abroad. I literally take it everywhere with me because it holds everything. If you're not familiar with this tote bag, it has the short handles. It also has long handles. There's plenty of room for an organizer. So I have this felt organizer inside from Etsy, and I use that to help give it some compartments. Otherwise, it's just a giant open tote. It does have a little clip on the inside, so you could fasten that. If you don't want it to sit open, that will help keep your belongings from falling out the top. It does have a side zipper pouch and 2 pockets, which I don't really use. And for as often as I carry this bag, the inside material doesn't look stained at all. It looks basically brand new. I think there's a tiny little mark right there. I could probably wipe that off. I've been blown away by the quality of this bag. It made me fall in love with Louis Vuitton bags, their luggage. It made me more interested in the brand because I understand the high quality, and now I get why people follow Louis Vuitton so closely and why they have such a cult following of people who swear by Louis Vuitton. I know the cotton candy colorway isn't going to be for everybody. Some people probably swear it's fake when they see me in the airport, but every time I wear this bag, I do receive compliments on it, especially when I'm traveling through the Miami airport. I always get stopped and asked, "What season was that? Where did you get that bag?" She is definitely not serving quiet luxury, but she's my style. I love the pastel pink and bright colors. The monogram doesn't bother me at all. I think it's very cute. I will continue to carry this bag. In fact, on my wish list, and I'm really not in the market or thinking of making any other designer luxury purchases, but I would absolutely consider picking this up in plain black. Another one of my best designer purchases for travel is this bag from Chanel, and I loved it so much. I actually bought it in 2 different colors. This is the Vanity Train Case. This shade of pink was so perfect. I actually purchased the pouch first, and then the Vanity Train Case became available, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll get that too, even though I already had it in red. I thought I would maybe regret having 2 train cases because why do you need 2? I use both of them constantly. These are always in my rotation. I almost always take these when I'm traveling. If it's a very, very short trip, maybe I won't. Like if we're just driving to Tampa for a couple days, a long weekend to see my parents, I don't take it. But if I'm getting on a plane, if it's, a 3-4 day trip and I need all of my skincare, my hair care, I need all of the products, all of the things, I'm definitely taking one of my Chanel train cases because similar to the on-the-go tote, it simply has room. It is so spacious. I can usually get all of my makeup, all of my skincare, all of my hair care, and sometimes my makeup brushes in this bag. It's kind of nice when you're traveling to have everything all in one place. There is a little creasing in the back right here from whenever I open it up, but other than that very light crease, these bags don't show any signs of wear either, even on the inside, which is fabric. It's not leather on the inside, but even the fabric is very easy to clean. I have spilled like shimmery stuff at the bottom. There's some shimmery makeup dust that I've tried to wipe out of the bottom, and it wouldn't be a huge deal even if it did, because it is a bag that I use. You know, it's something that I carry with me. I travel with it. I don't need it to look pristine and look brand new forever. That's not really reasonable. But I do want to point something out, because this was an issue that I had with it the moment I took it out of the box, and it's this little mirror. This is the new design, and it has this cute little mirror which pops out, very cute, right? Except my glue was not done properly, so this actually immediately popped off, and the little button is actually stuck in the little buttony part. I don't even know what these pieces are called. This was one of one at the beauty boutique. I did tell my sales associate at the time, but I figured I would just glue it myself. I was disappointed, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to return it. They probably would have let me return it, but then I just would never have the bag. And the truth is, I don't use this little mirror at all. It just sits right in there, and I never did actually try to glue it myself, so it's fine. I could just pop that right in there. I've heard many people discussing the quality of Chanel handbags, and unfortunately I have this not so amazing experience. Now, I didn't take it to the boutique. I didn't try to get it fixed. That's my fault. I just held on to it and said, I don't care. The color is so pretty. I don't want to risk not being able to get this pink bag. I still consider it to be one of my best designer purchases because of how much I've used it, how it doesn't show wear. I do think the quality of the actual bag itself, not the little mirror inside, is amazing. Would I buy it brand new in 2025? Definitely not. I would say if you are looking for a travel makeup case, something like this, you may be better off going to a brand like Louis Vuitton, or just trying to get your hands on one from eBay or Fashionphile secondhand, where you can save some money. Now let's talk about one of my designer regrets. We're mixing everything together. The only redeeming quality about this bag is that at least I didn't pay full price. I actually purchased this at TJ Maxx. Here we have the ever so popular YSL Rive Gauche tote bag. It's now available in so many different colors, different shapes, different sizes. Now, this is not a terrible bag, but it's still a regret because I was influenced to get this bag. I remember when this came out, every single fashion influencer under the sun was wearing the Rive Gauche tote, and I thought, wow, that looks so cute, so chic, the type of bag that I will hold on for years and years. You know, we romanticize these things because they're so expensive. We want to envision ourselves wearing it season after season, you know, passing down all of our designer items to our children. It's not big enough to fit all of your weekend essentials, but it's too big to serve as an everyday tote bag. Like, I'm not going to throw my computer in here and take this to the bookstore or to Starbucks. It's too big for that. I swear every time I saw a blogger flexing this bag on the gram, it was styled as like an everyday bag. And I guess I envisioned myself using it a lot more than I do. Every time I'm doing a closet clean out, I look at this bag and I think about selling it. I don't love it, so I feel like I should probably get rid of it at some point. I don't know why I just hold on to it. I guess because it's YSL, and I did spend a good amount of money on it. I didn't pay full price. I got it for a great TJ Maxx discount, but it was still an expensive item. I feel like maybe in a couple years it will get really hot and popular again, and I'll be glad that I held on to mine. It definitely reminds me that I was influenced and it wasn't something that really spoke to me or really stood out as being my personal style. It's a little bit of a reminder to be embarrassed about my spending habits. I feel a little bit of shame whenever I look at this bag because the truth is I should have saved my money. I had no business purchasing this and I don't really use it. Now here's another one of my best designer purchases that happens to be YSL. And this is a great example that sometimes you just have to go with your gut. It's these nude sandals, which I actually also purchased on sale from the outlet store. We're very spoiled in South Florida. If you go to Sawgrass Mills to the Colonnade shops, they have a lot of designer outlets, and the YSL usually has some great hidden gems. I almost always find something, specifically shoes there. These nude sandals were so perfect. I knew they would go with absolutely everything. They were maybe $300 or $400. I don't remember what I paid for them. My cost per wear has got to be pennies. I wear these so much. I've already had to re-heel them. I mean, you can tell that these shoes are truly worn, used. The only issue I noticed at the boutique, which I shared during my unboxing video of these shoes years ago, is that the coloring wasn't quite right. I don't know if one of these shoes was maybe the display and the other one was in the box, but you could still kind of tell. I feel like they've sort of melted into the same color, but this one is a slightly pinkier nude, and then the right is a slightly more yellow nude. Like the two nudes for some reason aren't a perfect match. So many people were down in the comments saying, I would never purchase a pair of designer shoes that weren't an identical match. Like, this is so wasteful, so stupid. Like, definitely not a great designer buy. But the joke is on you, because I've worn these sandals so much that it doesn't even matter. These are truly the most comfortable shoes. I wear them all the time, not just because they go with everything. I mean, the nude color is perfect. They literally match every outfit. I feel like I could run a marathon in these sandals. They're so soft. I never get blisters. I never feel like they're uncomfortable. So they're just easy to throw on anytime. Just for comparison's sake, I recently purchased these sandals from Ann Taylor online on sale. They were actually final sale, $40. And I feel like it's sort of a similar situation. They're obviously very different, but they have a nice heel, a nice block heel, which I love to give me a little height. Very classic sandal design. They seem like they should be able to go with absolutely everything, and I would get a lot of use out of these. I wore these one time, the first time I ever wore them. They cut up my feet so badly. I feel like I can barely even stick my foot in them now. They're made of genuine leather. They might as well be made of razor blades. When I stuck my foot back into the sandal, I could feel all of the places where the blisters had finally started to heal, and my feet were like, no, absolutely not. Take off those shoes. So $40, they're a perfect match. I should feel amazing about this purchase, and yet I don't know if I will ever be able to wear them again, unfortunately, because they're very cute. I love the style of these shoes, but they hurt so bad. Speaking of outrageously uncomfortable shoes that I will never wear, the Christian Louboutin Socates have got to be the most painful heels ever made. I think a lot of us probably made the same mistake. It's basically a rite of passage if you love luxury items. They're so popular and they're so beautiful. I mean, picturesque. This looks like the Barbie heel. And maybe that's what it is for millennials. We see these heels and it looks like Barbie. It like triggers nostalgia in our brains. They make your legs look so long and lean. They are incredibly flattering to look at. You can barely walk in them. I mean, I can barely walk in them. Maybe you can. But I think most people really struggle with these. It's the 120 millimeters. And I have tried to practice. I've tried to wear them around the house, not wear them out, see if I can kind of build up the strength. I don't know if it's the arch. It's got to be so bad for your foot just to even stand in these shoes. It truly is uncomfortable just to stand. That's how high they are. And I think because the toe part is sort of flat on the ground, there's no cushion, there's no padding. Your toes are squished together, nice and pointy. Your heel is like all the way up. These are so bad. I am surprised there's not a class action lawsuit against the Socate. Surely somebody has seriously injured themselves trying to wear these out in public. These are one of the best designer purchases ever. I wear them constantly. In fact, I wear these so much. I've had them re-heeled and re-bottomed, and they already look really, really worn. Like even this new heel is starting to go, especially on this side. It's like fraying into pieces. And it's not because they're cheap or bad quality. It's because I literally am wearing these into the ground. Also, Christian Louboutin, complete opposite from the Socate. I love that they have this little platform at the toe bit. This makes such a huge difference. They're so comfortable at the toes, little exposed toe region. They're nude, so they go with everything. They have a very thin strap, So there's no ankle strap. It doesn't cut you off at the ankle. It's still nice and elongating, but this little crisscross helps hold your foot in so you're not flipping around and walking out of the shoe. Very high heel, pointy stiletto. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for why this stiletto is so much better on the foot than the Socate, but I swear this is an architectural masterpiece. I can run in these heels. I wear them all the time, anytime there's an event. If I had known back then what I know now, I would have told my husband, we need to go back to the store. Where did you get these from? I need a backup pair. It makes me very sad to admit this. I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I do have a few Chanel regrets here to share with you, unfortunately, including these sunglasses. And I have a pretty nice collection of Chanel sunglasses. These are probably my only pair that I truly regret purchasing, and it's these white ones. They're a little bit buggy, a little bit bug-eyed, and I remember when I purchased these, I was really excited that they had some white options because white sunglasses, white designer, Chanel sunglasses feels like it should be a staple, something that will withstand the test of time. I was forcing it. They're white and I wanted white because it was something different for my collection. I didn't have any white sunglasses and they're a little bit big. They were a little bit big when I bought them and I just should never have bought them. I hate the shape. I hate the way they fit. They're a little bit big on my face. Even if you adjust the sides, I don't think I could adjust them enough to really make up for how loose they are. And I don't find them to be all that flattering. I never wear them, and they're very comfortable because the sides are so thin. They are pretty lightweight. So it's not that they're uncomfortable, but I just feel like they don't look right on my face. They're way too oversized, way too big and round. I'm usually so good with sunglasses as well. I don't like to rush my decision making. I'll take pictures and take lots of video when I'm in store so that if I'm not 100% sure, I can go back and I can rewatch it and I can make sure that yes, these do actually look good on you. Sometimes you get caught up in the moment whenever you're shopping. If you've wasted a lot of time of the sales associate, you're already buying other things. Sometimes you just get caught up. I could always resell them. I probably will try to resell them. I don't know where or how. I don't think Chanel sunglasses or sunglasses in general really hold on to their value, so I will probably take a loss on them. I mean, they're beautiful. They have this really nice kind of braided chain detail on the side. Little CCs, they're not overly branded. They're very, very cute for somebody else, for somebody with a different face than me. At least my Chanel regrets are all accessories and not a handbag. That would hurt much worse. But here I have this beautiful necklace from Chanel, which I purchased a long time ago for a photo shoot. I don't know why I was spending money like it was growing on trees, and I felt like I needed to have this necklace and it had to be a real Chanel and I couldn't just buy something on Amazon just for the photos. But I got this really beautiful necklace. I think the chain necklace, this pearl long chain necklace from Chanel, is one of their iconic pieces. They always have things like this. You can double wrap it. Oh, it does have a clasp. I was gonna say, I think you can also wear it as a belt. Like I could probably double wrap it around the waist if I wanted to. So there are a few different ways to wear it. You could wear it as maybe a bracelet. I would probably just wear it as a necklace. In the years since I made this purchase, I've realized that Chanel and Dior and a lot of designer costume jewelry is just not worth it. For the price, you're honestly better off just going to a local jeweler or getting something that's like real jewelry, something that is truly high quality. It really is a beautiful piece. I love all of the details, the little CCs, the cocoa with the arrow. I mean, it's a gorgeous necklace. It's not that I regret the necklace, but because it was so expensive and I know that it is delicate, I mean, it's just a long chain necklace, I don't really wear it that much. I'll most likely hold on to it and not try to get my money back or resell it because it is still a special piece. I recognize that. I wish I got more use out of it. Once it becomes so old that it's considered to be a rare vintage piece, then I will probably be really happy that I held on to it. Even with a few regrets, I still have so much love for Chanel, and along with the makeup train case, This is another one of my best designer purchases. It's my Chanel handbag, the Cocoa top handle in this beautiful light pastel pink. It's a different shade of pink than the makeup bags. This is one of my most used, most complimented handbags. I have a very small collection of designer bags and only a handful from Chanel. These limited seasonal colors don't last very long. Light pinks like this don't last very long, and they retain a lot of their value. So I purchased this a couple years ago. I imagine if I tried to purchase this secondhand on a site like Fashion File, it would probably be the same price I paid for it. Oh my goodness, there's a lip liner in here. I was wondering where this was. Okay, need to take out that lip liner. That was creme de la creme. I think the information must be in the box. I had recently taken this out of the box and I saw there was the card. I've held on to all of my receipts and tags on the bag. I want to say this was spring 2022, but it does come with a strap. So you can use it as a top handle. You can put it over your shoulder, nice and small. It doesn't carry a ton, but it carries enough. I've taken this bag to events and out to dinner. I can usually fit my G7X, my keys, my wallet, lip gloss, and a powder, and that's basically all I need to take out for the evening anyways. But it does carry a camera, the little light that you can clip onto your cell phone, that will fit in here. It really is the perfect size because I can wear this for daytime, but I can also wear this in the evening as well, and it's not too big and overwhelming. And finally, to round out this list, so we have a solid 10, another one of my favorites. This is definitely one of my best designer purchases of all time. It's this old Gucci bag. I believe this was called the Soho tote or the Soho bag. They don't make it anymore. This was my everyday bag. I used it constantly for years. In fact, I used it so much I had to get it fixed by the cobbler. The same guy who did my shoes actually fixed the handles of the bag because one of the handles broke. And that's really the only reason I stopped carrying this bag. The leather is still in pretty bad shape on the handles, but it's not tearing, at least. You know, it definitely still works. I'm always so tempted to throw all of my stuff back in this bag and just carry it like I used to, because this was my favorite bag. I loved this bag. It was so practical. I love the fact that it's so big, but it's not too big to use as an everyday bag. It's nice and mushy. It doesn't have a solid shape. It has this pebbled leather effect, so it doesn't really show wear very much. I put this bag through hell for years. Considering the amount of use, I don't think it looks that bad. I just think it's one of those bags that can truly hold up. Great quality. I mean, if you look at the bottom, looks great. The rest of the stitching is totally fine. It was just the handles, and it's honestly, it's my own fault because I would carry so much weight in it. The bag was so heavy all the time because I was just filling it up with all of my things, all of my camera equipment, that the handles finally gave out. It's somewhere on the cusp. I think it's too early to bring it back as a vintage style. You know, for a while it was so popular, it was everywhere, and because it's Gucci and it has the loud logo in the front, I feel like maybe this was a little bit just out of style. It was starting to look a little bit dated. Eventually, I know if I hold on to this bag, it's going to become a really cute vintage style. I feel like there will come a time, probably sooner than later, that whenever I wear this bag, people compliment it or ask me when I bought it. It still has the old Gucci logo, which I think is kind of cool. I have the matching wallet. I will never get rid of this handbag, even if I'm not carrying it every single day like I used to. I just have so much love for it, and honestly, I may eventually just start carrying it again because I love it so much. The Gucci Soho really checks all of the boxes for me, and that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Let me know if you're interested in seeing a part 2, or maybe just a roundup of all of the best purchases, things that I recommend, a roundup of all of the worst luxury purchases and all of my regrets. Drop me a comment. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be tagged directly to the video and linked down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.